Leaders is a disgrace. Yeah, why? Because a leader must help his country to rise.
A good leader.
Be able to motivate and then mobilize.
A good leader.
And a leader must be one whose vision is clear. Holding ethics and integrity. Yeah.
A good leader.
Oh yes, a leader should be humble and polite. Not wrapped up in ego, arrogant, always picking fight. Not a tyrant or a dictator. That is not what this country needs. That will only make my nation lead. His full school should be service, not self-advancement or greed. Blessed is the one who was born to lead. Oh, good leaders are born not bred, setting standards is get tread. Blessed is the one who was born to lead. A mentor, a teacher, a trainer. Experience is their greatest tool. Should be discerning, yet forever learning. One who doesn't gladly suffer fools. And in a world that loves a maximum leader, he must know when to let go and delegate. Must be the most able of his peers, not driven by petty fears. And though he can, don't always dominate. Because a leader must be blessed with wisdom also.
A good leader.
Oh, when to take in front and when to follow.
A good leader.
And a leader must be the one to set the template. So those coming after could duplicate.
A good leader.
Oh yes, a leader should be humble and polite. Not wrapped up in ego, arrogant, always picking fight. Not someone seduced by flattery. That is not what this country needs. Not stumbling about like a tumbleweed. His heart should beat with courage, not be coward or weak need. Blessed. Good leaders are born not bred. Being a mentor is their trade. Blessed is the one who was born to lead. We don't want someone always thinking small. No, no.
No, no, no. That's not a leader at all.
At all, at all. One who always pulls straight. someone seduced by flattery. That is not what this nation needs. We don't need another trumpet. Indeed, should be stable with family values, not looking for young girls to breed. Blessed. Good leaders are born, not made. Setting standards is their trade.
Blessed is the one who was born to lead.
Good leaders are born, not made. Lifting up others is their trade. Blessed.
Blessed is the one who was born to lead.
We're just about out of patience. We're not going to ask anymore. If I ask a man, I tell a man I am hungry. I tell him I am cold. And I ask him to do something about my condition. And this man holds a loaf of bread right in front of me so I can see it. And I keep asking him, I'm begging him to please give me a slice of the loaf of bread. I am hungry. Then it is known by every psychologist that the next step in the progression is I am going to knock him upside the head and take the bread from him. I'm not going to starve to death. There's a limit to a man's patience, and everyone knows that what we're asking is not $1 million. All we're asking for is humanity. And God, you tell us that this is too much to ask. You're sick. You're definitely sick. How can you tell me that it's too much to ask to be a human being?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. My name is Renaissance Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live on the Workers' Rights Network. Today, Trinidad and Tobago. Today is the 15th of December month 2026. That is what today is. But more importantly, Trinidad and Tobago, we come here on a daily to talk your business, to tell you, the public, who to hate. Yes, it's a serious word. Because there are people outside there, Trinidad and Tobago, that are not interested in how you feel. They are not interested in how you get by. They are not interested that you cannot pay your bills. They are not interested in your suffering, Trinidad and Tobago. So we urge all of you, those that are joining us on YouTube, those that are joining us on TikTok, those that are joining us on Facebook, yes, those that are joining us on Instagram, or you subscribe to our platform, because all you know, this thing here is a race against time, and they are out to get us. It's not no joke. I ain't talking no fiction here. But today, Trinidad and Tobago, good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to all of you watching and who call in and giving pointers as the day progresses. Trinidad and Tobago, what I am here to do today is expose wolves in sheep clothing, opportunists to the highest order. They are opportunists that you can see often, but they are also opportunists that have degrees, that went to school. They are opportunists of different caliber and different class, disguising themselves to be one of you and talking on your issue and talking about things that affect you. But today, Trinidad and Tobago, We are here to expose them all. And before we go into that story, Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you about the bird and the tomcat. There was a little birdie that was flying south for the winter. Yes. And his wings started freeze because he started late. And because the wings freeze, he fell to the ground. And where he fell was in some cow dung. The bird started complaining to himself. Boy, of all places I could have fall, I go fall in cow dung. But after 2 seconds, he realized the wings started to melt. The ice started to melt on the wing. Yes, yes, yes. And he realized that the wings, he's starting to flap his wings, but in the cow dung, and he stick up. But let me tell you how dangerous certain people can be. There was a tomcat observing the bird that would have fell in the lap of cow dung. And he walked up to the bird and he said, boy, let me help you now. Let me help you. You're helpless. Let me try my best to help you. He said, yeah, look up all that water across there. I go take you out and I go put you in the puddle of water. So you go wash off all that cow dung off your coat. Now, when the tomcat pick up the bird and put him in the puddle to wash the coat, and he come out and he flap out and he wash out and he rinse out. That same tomcat, yes, eat him up. Eat him up alive. Pay attention, Trinidad and Tobago. I am not talking about a real tomcat.
Who tell you to go and pick up a gun when it have other things? That is the pitch I running with. I not running with which politician tell them what. Not the Kareem Marcel, not what Eric Williams say. I not talking about
no,
that.
but you see, you have to deal with the course.
I am speaking
because
about...
he referred, when they were making the choice to educate the people, he referred to the schools as cowsheds, right? And chose not to make schools to educate Afro-Trinbagonians, and Afro-Trinbagonians supported that.
Listen to me, yeah? Isaac, let's like to, when we talking, at the end of the day, I don't care what it is. He could call them cow shed, goat shed, whatever shed he chooses to call them. I am speaking directly to the community of itself, in and of itself, because you call them the cow shed, but it's plenty cow shed they build after that.
For degenerative behavior,
because he was telling them,
misrepresents the PNM,
telling them,
simply exploiting
who tell you to go and pick up a gun when it have other things. That is the pitch.
1. The degenerative behavior claim is a harmful, dangerous rhetoric that blames Afro-Trinbagonians for degenerative behavior, and that misrepresents the PNM as simply exploiting ignorance.
No, not that video right now. We are waiting to bring the next clip, because that clip that you now bring is the one we will put last. So bring on the next clip, director, because the people need to hear and see what is taking place here. Bring on the first clip. Clip number 1. Sorry about that.
Who tell you to go and pick up a gun when it have other things? That is the pitch I running with. I not running with which politician tell them what. Not the Karima said, not what Eric Williams say. I not talking about
No,
that.
but you see, you have to deal with the core issue.
I am speaking
Because
about...
he referred, when they were making the choice to educate the people, he referred to the schools as cowsheds, right? And chose not to make schools to educate Afro-Trinbagonians, and Afro-Trinbagonians supported that.
Listen to me, yeah? Isaac Ellis like to, when we talking, at the end of the day, I don't care what it is. He could call them cow shed, goat shed, whatever shed he choose to call them. I am speaking directly to the community of itself, in and of itself, because you call them the cow shed, but it's plenty cow shed the bill after that. And out of them cow shed comes great success, because the parents and persons from that community work hard, whether it's donation, whether it's to sell this, whether it's to sell that. They're strong in the children PTA, etc., 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 etc.
So, man, here's something. You go in and rally the black community to get them to do what you trying to say.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Hold guys, hold on. Because I think you're gonna unmute, by the way, but I think both of you guys on the same line. I think Obi line comes from the political side of things and wanting to deal with that, and Aretha, you non-political and just on the side of human and just people in general now. But Obi was also speaking about the same thing that you're speaking about, the Indian and the African, and wanting African to do better because the Indian people in general do better as well. Not to make it about race, but that's basically the same thing that both of you guys talking about. Unfortunately, I think there's a misunderstanding in the communication there. Unfortunately.
David, I understand what she's saying, but hear what I'm trying to tell you, right? Yeah. One of the hardest things to do is mobilize Afro-Trinbagonians to do the right thing. And since she wanted, the reason why I asked her the question earlier on is because I don't speak in general, I don't ever generalize. I just always say there's a large portion or a small portion or a majority, right? The majority of Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you. You see it on our social medias. Look at all the platforms that have the most degenerate content or degenerate behaviors. They have the largest set of followings. You want to know why? Because that is what we gravitate to. Right?
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I'd like to show you how clever this opinion box is. He changed the scope of the thing from black people degenerate to that is what we like, that is what the culture, the world like degenerated content. But he cleverly changed it from black people to we, that is what we like. And he want to shove that down black people's throat, but don't worry yourself, we come in with it just now. That you could understand what we say.
And since she wanted, the reason why I asked her the question earlier on is because I don't speak in general, I don't ever generalize. I just always say there's a large portion or a small portion or a majority, right? The majority of Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you. You see it on our social medias. Look at all the platforms that have the most degenerate content or degenerate behaviors. They have the largest set of followings. You want to know why? Because that is what we gravitate to, right? We are always quick to fight and undermine each other instead of trying to lift up one another, right? And we never stand for the right things. Look how many schools were closed down right in the Port of Spain area that was closed down by the PNM. Then you had schools that Kamla was built that they neglected to finish build. And I always tell people what PNM capitalizes on is the ignorance of their East-West corridor voter base. Because that is why I made the statement saying that if it required a means test to vote, PNM could never rule this country. There's a reason why voting is dumbed down to the dumbest version of just stamp a symbol next to a X next to your symbol. It is done on purpose to make sure that down to the dumbest person who doesn't even understand half of the things that you are talking about, Arita, half of the things David is talking about, or half of the things I am talking about, can still vote. You have a society that votes most of the time on things they don't even blasted understand. And that is the truth. So how do you empower a society of people who don't understand these things? When you go into a ghetto community and you try to have conversations like this, they will load you up. They don't want to hear what you had to say. And the reason for that is because they've been abandoned so long, they don't... Why you feel me and X always be saying on the radio station, there is no intervention. Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you, I'm telling you, Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior.
That was opinion box. And that was a live that was done all of them days, black people. And Trinidad and Tobago, the same words that lick bam bam opinion box, that next scumbag, scumbucket, here to deliver statistics, Trinidad and Tobago, that is unverified. And we are now seeing that Arita is aligning herself with these people. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the world and the Caribbean at large, God's people was given a directive to come out from among them, separate yourself from those that are doing ungodly things. And if here today, Trinidad and Tobago, Arita, we good, we just talk. And if here today, you cannot come out and say that you are sorry for aligning yourself with the very order of things that is destroying this country, then my dear good sister, we must now break ties. And without putting any water in my mouth, whether you listen or you ain't listen, whether you do it if you choose to or not, I am giving you 24 hours to apologize to the sufferers and them suffering. And you are aligning yourself with people who is bringing statistics, make up statistics, to try to prove a point, Trinidad and Tobago. To convince who? To gang rape the minds of those that, not too really studying to go and do and trying to survive on a daily basis. To gang rape your psyche. Every day, David Welch on the radio, fighting down people, fighting down black people for salary. Every day opinion box on the radio station. Yes, he on the radio station too. Talking and fighting down people as if in this country it's as if the PNM government is responsible for everything. That is what they're saying. Those scumbags and them. So everything that was done in the last 10 years was absolutely nothing, and the UNC is the answer to all press, and we seen what they're doing. But Trinidad and Tobago, lest you forget what taking place in this country, let me bring a clip as to when Gadsby Dolly was in Parliament. Yes, talking about Africans and degenerative people.
They have supported me, and I've been here advocating and representing them for the past almost 10 years. I'm very grateful. It's a privilege to be a representative of the people. I want to thank the Prime Minister for his confidence in young people. He has a saying that hard work is for young people, and Mr. Speaker, he does demand a lot from us, and I am glad that we have the opportunity as young people to take responsibility for our country. I want to thank my sister in service, Minister Lisa Morris-Julian, a member for Dabri Omera. I want to thank her for her support and her assistance as we carry out the business of the people at the Ministry of Education.
Ah, boy. Clip number 2.
A strong focus on discipline. The students of these schools, they have discipline issues, they have performance issues, they have social issues, they have socioeconomic issues. So we have focused on discipline. We revised that National School Discipline Matrix with the input of the TTPS, the NPA, the Tutor, Children's Authority, out of the Office of the Prime Minister, Ministry of Social Development. All of these came together in about 2021 and 22, and we revised that discipline matrix. And we have introduced restorative practices also at 11 of our schools as a pilot that we have been working on for the last academic year, and they are in the schools, teaching our children how to deal with conflict, how to manage themselves, how to rebound from tragedy. These are things that our restorative practitioners are doing in 11 of our schools. Because we noticed from the data, a lot of indiscipline takes place when our students are unsupervised. A teacher may be not attending school for a day. They have their days that they take. But when our students are unsupervised, a lot goes on. Also in the lunchtime periods, after school. So the learning support assistants are there to assist in school operation. We have hired over 80 school social workers and 40 guidance counselors. So we now have 227 school social workers, 282 guidance counselors, over 500 officers in our schools. And I want to really express my condolences to the family of Jaden Lalchan. That is a young life that was tragically lost in this country. And I want to say to the national population that the allegation of bullying is on the national discipline matrix. It's listed as an infraction, and there are procedures which guide principals about how to deal with bullying. Bullying is prevalent. It's been happening for as long as schools happen, for as long as society has happened, because coming out of this tragic situation, we have recognized that we have a national culture of bullying. It happens on social media like clockwork. And we, I think, have started to understand the effect this can have not only on school children, but on anyone in the country. Because sadly, Jaden's life is gone. But we have seen in this.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, you hear the clip before with David Welch, with Opinion Box, and with Arita Darling, discussing the nation's business and quoting facts and figures and saying the PNM did nothing for children in school. That is what people just do when they want to please other individual and want to make something, irregardless to what. So you will just make up facts on the wind. Your Opinion Box. David Welch and Arita, you are aligning yourself with these people. With these people who will do anything for a dollar, even sell the soul. David Welch, he done gone. Opinion Box boy, yeah, is a total disappointment in my book. And you hear them on the live. Black people responsible for this. They're responsible for that. But what is the real facts? What is the real data behind this? Who the hell is Opinion Box? As a brother who come from Labre, who always talking about Labre, and I from Labre, I'm feeling ashamed as somebody like you, Opinion Box. And don't talk for David Welch, but you long gone by. Arita, I hear you, you know. You was in the live. You was speaking. You need to come out and apologize to the people of Trinidad, and especially the young people. Who take away the Milat, who take away the MyPad, who closed down Civilian Conservation Corps. And you are too big ass, boy. You are too big tongue and alive. Trying to convince the population that UNC doing so much and PNM never do nothing. And you hear it from Gatsby Dolly yourself. Or you gonna do anything for money, so boy? Or you gonna sell all your soul for money? An Opinion Box was a man that I used to listen to. We used to talk. He was a brother. We used to talk normal on the phone. Every time he get a chance, he boasts about Labre. Talking about black people. You hear David Welch. You hear them. And what I tell you, Trinidad and Tobago, one, I said to you that when these people and them is on the radio station, when they tune in, or you must tune out. We urge you on a daily basis, subscribe to the Workers' Rights Platform, where you will get information. Real information. Nothing that they're trying to sell you for $1. I could bring the facts and our people on the panel waiting ready. Let me play part of this clip here so you can hear. I'm going to play the whole thing because there are panelists there that waiting to give their opinion about what they would have just heard. Let me play part of it. And after the ending of the program, we are going to play the entire thing. Opinion Box, Arita, David Welch, or is out of place. Out of place. Want to run up on your mouth on live.
Rhetoric that blames Afro-Trimbagonians for degenerative behavior and that misrepresents the PNM as simply exploiting ignorance instead of investing in communities. 1. The degenerative behavior claim is a harmful generalization, not data. The statement that the majority of Afro-Trimbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior is not supported by reliable statistics. Official crime data shows that young males of African descent are disproportionately involved in some violent crimes, but this is a small subgroup, not the majority of the entire Afro-Trimbagonian population. Contradicted by broader social research. Studies on youth in Trinidad and Tobago explicitly note that youth aged 11 to 17 overall are not heavily involved in delinquent or illegal activities, even in high-risk areas. A classic stereotype, not a factual claim. Labeling an entire ethnic group as majority degenerate is a moral condemnation, not analysis. It ignores the large numbers of Afro-Trimbagonians who are teachers, nurses, entrepreneurs, students, community leaders, and volunteers. A responsible argument must separate a small high-risk segment, often young males in specific urban hotspots, from the broad Afro-Trimbagonian community, most of whom are not involved in violence or crime. 2. The problem is structural abandonment, not ethnic moral failure. The real issue is not degenerate Afro-Trimbagonians, but years of systemic neglect in certain communities. Cure Violence Project Reason outcomes show that when targeted, Evidence-based interventions are introduced in distressed communities, many with large Afro-Trimbagonian populations. Violence drops significantly. Calls for violent incidents, gunshots, and hospital gunshot admissions fall. This proves that behavior is not fixed by race, it changes with investment, support, and opportunity. The parliamentary No Time to Quit, Engaging Youth at Risk report identifies that the young males most at risk of drugs, guns, and violent crime are predominantly of African descent, especially in urban hotspots like Laventille, but ties this to poverty, lack of opportunity, broken family structures, weak community infrastructure, not a ethnic degeneracy.
Now, although you see, I wanted to keep track of what is saying here, you know, because you see, that is the pure statistics there. We are going to give you all it in full after. So I just want to remind you about the Gatsby Dolly thing. When they're talking about structural abandonment, what would the PNM have been doing when they would have taken data? When they would have taken
A strong
data?
focus on discipline. The students of these schools, they have discipline issues, they have performance issues, they have social issues, they have socioeconomic issues. So we have focused on discipline. We revised that national school discipline matrix with the input of the TTPS, the NPA, the tutor, Children's Authority, out of the Office of the Prime Minister, Ministry of Social Development, all of the...
Now, one thing you could blame the PNM for is not advertising what they was doing. So the real data behind at-risk blacks was structural abandonment. And we could say too little, too late. But at least it started to happen. And at least the data have been acted upon. So when men like Opinion Box, men like David Welch, all of those sellouts on them come with make-believe thing, we must kick those things out of the way because it's not making sense factually. But yet still you give them 2 or 3 hours and a half and pay them a salary to come and run up the mouth on a radio station. Good afternoon to the rest of the panel. Good afternoon to you this afternoon. Good afternoon to Candace, Sharon, Warrior, same thing. But Kitty, good afternoon. Candace Edwards, I know you is the second slip. What you have to say concerning what you would have just heard, a matter of fact. We hearing people criticizing the education system and not knowing that that thing put in place. And you, Candace, you at one point in time, and I'm putting the blame squarely on you, you at one point in time did stop a man in Sandy Grande and ask them what you have for the youths, what you have for the people, what you have for the youths in your area. Go ahead, Candice.
Hi, I must say a pleasant good night to everybody, to you, Mr. Renison Jeffrey, everybody in the comment section, YouTube, and on the panel. Before I go on, Trinity said to bring her up on the panel, please.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up Trinity.
Right. You know, well, after listening, normally I don't really listen to Arita and this opinion box and David Welch at all, because I know they are haters. They seem to be a set of people, they know they're collecting the coins, the bag, and they don't care about the rest. You understand me? They definitely don't care about the rest. And people must really, you know, bypass their pages. Because to be honest, according to you, Mr. Jeffrey, when you said that all the list of things that the PNM had in store for the people, the only thing they probably did wrong was advertise, you know, bring it to the forefront, right? And it's true, because when we would have went to the 50th anniversary, the PNM kept, and I heard Ms. Penelope Beckles, you know, talk on some of the things that they would have done for the youths and all of that. I was shocked. I wasn't aware of it, right? And today, and the PNM have the facts. They're showing you the facts. And we, the citizens, when they were checking out, they seen it. And now today, the UNC come in and take away every single thing. And these two people still going up on social media and trying to ridicule black people, trying to bring down the pain. And what the UNC do for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Show me a school the UNC build. Show me a program the UNC put in place for the youths. Not one. Not one. If anybody now could show me a program that the UNC put in place for the youths, I would be glad. I would be glad to see that. But they have people coming up there and misleading the people, boy. I can't understand. Literally misleading. I want to know how much money these people getting paid, you know. It's about time black people catch themselves, you know. It's about time black people stop being like crabs in barrel, boy, because all they give a little dollar. All they want to come out there and spread bad news. Play with the minds of the citizens. People know they're suffering. Or they could come with what? Or they could spread all kind of propaganda. I see what people feeling right now. The hardship, the sufferation. Well, all look, watch me. UNC go have to empty their bank account to pay all you. And that still wouldn't have no effect. That is wickedness, boy. I listen to that video. Normally I don't listen to these people. But I listen to that video because of you playing it there. I say, but these people and them just wicked. You're literally wicked, boy. I'll go rest here for now.
And we had a researcher that would have sent that video for us. I want to know, a matter of fact, let me leave that researcher alone. But Trinity, what you had to say concerning that clip? I mean, yeah, I know you're aware of the clip. And before you start, Trinity, we had to tell you, behave yourself. Behave yourself, Trinity.
I already got the warning. Good night, everybody. Good night to you, Mr. Jeffrey. Good night, everybody on the panel. Good night, YouTube. Good night, TikTok. According to Trinity Turns, I give Kumba today, so I come. Opinion box to me, he just talk for relevancy in my book, because opinion box, he know the struggle as how he's from South, like me and Mr. Jeffrey, and he know how South people struggle to get jobs and how we just have it hard on in library and point 14. So as a library man, he's supposed to know how it is, how we be treated under the UNC, you understand? And for him to literally come and talk that and say those things about black people, it's disheartening, because at the end of the day, we know how black people is, how we are being treated down in the South. Regards to Rita, I think she confused. Let me tell you why she confused. Because 1 minute she back in PNM, 1 minute she back in UNC. I think Arita is a bagwagonist who just go with the flow. Wherever you talking, she jump on that topic. And she just go with the flow to get followers and likes. But I decide for like her business. That's her choice. But with Opinion Box, I'm highly disappointed in Opinion Box, because at the end of the day, he know the struggle. And because you may be getting paid from the UNC, or you may be getting a radio station, or you switch up on your own people, which I find is totally disgusting. You understand? Because if I see Opinion Box in library, I will tell him about it. I will say, by way, you doing it wrong, because you turn against your own people, you know, for 30 pieces of silver, you can't be doing them things. You understand? I don't know who was there for you. For them to say that the PNM have not done anything for the youth. The line, because it's the PNM who brought all the programs and stuff. You understand? It's the PNM who been helping the children. It's the PNM who been building schools. You understand? And giving all these things to the youths and stuff like that. So I don't understand where when I saw that live, I don't understand how that could come out of Opinion. And I read him out, and I even saying David Welch. He totally sold. David Welch totally sold. He's so sold. You can't even try to sell him back. But with Opinion Box, I expected it from Marita because she's a back organist. But with Opinion Box, a man from South who he know we just be suffering, especially South people, Point 14 library people be suffering, whether we vote. It doesn't matter where we vote, we still suffering. I don't understand where he coming from with those comments that he makes. You understand? And it just it real hard to actually listen to the brother talk about that. You understand? Like the opinion box need to get it together.
I find so too. Opinion box needs to get it together, and I believe he gone too, because there are people outside here that will do and say anything for $1. I believe that he gone. So there are some people on the panel who chatter. The person that will take over at some point in time from Candice.
From you.
Chatter, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Jeffrey. Good night, Candice. Good night to everybody on the panel, everybody in the comment section, everybody who's tuning in on YouTube and listening to us, right? Mr. Jeffrey, one thing I have to say, right? This wicked, evil UNC government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody seeing how this government come in power and just mashing up Trinidad and Tobago with a vengeance. And for Rita to be spreading that propaganda with Heavy and Opinion Box and David Welch coming up there, because clearly them singing for their supper, right? Them just want the UNC to stay in power as long as possible, humanly possible, because they are getting a paycheck and that is all them care about. Them really don't care about the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. What affect any man on the ground? Them really don't care about those things. All them know about, them have a job and they're getting a decent salary. That is what them care about. And for Rita to be having these people on her program spreading these kind of propaganda against the PNM to discredit the PNM is very, very embarrassing on Rita part. You understand? Because everybody know Heavy T and Opinion Box and David Welch and all of them sell out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Them is a waste of time. And I find anybody who come up and supporting this life should boycott Arita Live and stop listening to Heavy T and them on their radio station, because them just pushing our propaganda for the UNC. For the UNC to stay in power as long as possible can, because them want to continue eating our food. Right? Look how much things the UNC have done. The roads and them is in a state. High traffic fines. Or they close down CPF, URP, forestry workers, right? The whole country, Jeffrey, is in a mess. And when you ask them about it, the first thing them that says, who's suffering?
But
Where is the
Chatter,
sufferation?
but Chatter, I want to add something to what you say. You say they should boycott David Welch and Opinion Box. They should boycott Arita too until she apologizes to the people. Let she apologize.
And I totally agree with that, Jeffrey. Because I don't understand. You, Arita, you seeing firsthand what this UNC government is doing to the citizens and the country. And all you're still supporting people like Heavy T and David Welch and Opinion Box and these kind of lick bottom. All you're still supporting these people and them. And bringing them up on all your program to spread this kind of stupid propaganda. You understand? Who are they trying to fool right now? The citizens and them are fed up, sick and fed up of this lying UNC government. People had enough. People is suffering. People are crying out. Single mothers don't even know how they're feeding their children and all. They're coming up here and still trying to discredit the PNM. I prefer have the PNM in power right now than this UNC government. This UNC government is the worst thing ever hit Trinidad and Tobago.
No lie about that.
That a boycott David Welch and Heavy T show, and after boycott Arita live. Every time you see her on her live, boycott that live. That is my contribution, Mr. Jeffrey.
And Trinidad, you see, before I invite the rest of panelists to say anything here on the live, let me just bring back, you see, or you hear Gatsby Dolly, or you just hear Gatsby Dolly talk there. Listen to this now. You hear them fellas and them now. Yes. Yes.
Because you was telling them who tell you to go and pick up a gun when it have other things. That's the pitch I running with. I not running with which politician tell them what. Not the Kareem Hassan, not what Eric Williams say. I not talking about
No,
that.
but you see, you have to deal with the core issue.
I am speaking
Because
about
he referred, when they were making the choice to educate the people, he referred to the schools as cowsheds, right? And chose not to make schools to educate Afro-Trinbagonians, and Afro-Trinbagonians supported that.
Listen to me, yeah. Isaac Ellis like to, when we talking, at the end of the day, I don't care what it is. He could call them cow shed, goat shed, whatever shed he choose to call them. I am speaking directly to the community of itself, in and of itself, because you call them the cow shed, but it's plenty cow shed they build after that. And out of them cow shed comes great success, because the parents and persons from that community work hard, whether it's donation, whether it's to sell this, whether it's to sell that, they're strong in the churn PTA, etc., 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 etc.
So, man, say something. You go in and rally the black community to get them to do what you say, trying to say.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Good guys, hold on. Because I think you're gonna unmute, by the way, but I think both of you guys on the same line. I think Obi line comes from the political side of things and wanting to deal with that, and Aretha, you non-political and just on the side of human and just people in general now. But Obi was also speaking about the same thing that you're speaking about, the Indian and the African, and wanting African to do better because the Indian people in general do better as well. Not to make it about race, but that's basically the same thing that both of you guys talking about. Unfortunately, I think there's a misunderstanding in the communication there. Unfortunately,
David, I understand what she's saying, but hear what I'm trying to tell you, right? One of the hardest things to do is mobilize Afro-Trinbagonians to do the right thing. And since she wanted, the reason why I asked her the portion question earlier on is because I don't speak in general, I don't ever generalize. I just always say there's a large portion or a small portion or a majority, right? The majority of Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you. You see it on our social medias. Look at all the platforms that have the most degenerate content or degenerate behaviors. They have the largest set of followings. You want to know why? Because that is what we gravitate to, right? We are always quick to fight and undermine each other instead of trying to lift up one another, right? And we never stand for the right things. Look how many schools were closed down right in the Port of Spain area that was closed down by the PNM. Then you had schools that Kamla was built that they neglected to finish build. And I always tell people what PNM capitalizes on is the ignorance of their East-West corridor voter base. Because that is why I made the statement saying that if it required a means test to vote, PNM could never rule this country. There's a reason why voting is dumbed down to the dumbest version of just stamp a symbol next to X next to your symbol. It is done on purpose to make sure that down to the dumbest person who doesn't even understand half of the things that you are talking about, Arita, half of the things David is talking about, or half of the things I am talking about, can still vote. You have a society that votes most of the time on things they don't even blasted understand. And that is the truth. So how do you empower a society of people who don't understand these things? When you go into a ghetto community and you try to have conversations like this, they will load you up. They don't want to hear what you had to say. And the reason for that is because they've been abandoned so long, they don't... Why you feel me and X all this will be saying on the radio station? There is no intervention. Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you, Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you.
To point to her. Her name is Shirley John. Minister Shirley John. Shirley, don't hide. Do you know know who was the founder of ISFET?
I want you to call opinion box and tell me what type of behavior was that Padarat was going on with on the stage. I want you to call David Welch and tell me what type of behavior Padarat was going on with on the stage. I want you to call Arita, who condoning this piece of nonsense. What behavior Padarat was talking about on the stage? What type of behavior is that? Or you're trying to pull down black people all out and trying to discredit our government all out. They're not in power again. What do UNC do? But look now, before I cuss here this evening, Candace, you better take over this thing before I cuss here this evening.
Degenerate? Are you going crazy? And then you're sending threats to people like myself. And can't understand them that, oh, the UNC hire lawyers to hire team up. So you want to catch you and alive talking about here? Darling, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. Remember, you walking with a stick. I want you to remember that. And the things that you're doing right now and saying about citizens, I hear you about the P&M nurse and the P&M children and all them kind of shit. And it's P&M who hire your children having school education today. Your sons are doing well. It wasn't the P&M? Tell people, is your sons doing well in school? Is that the P&M? Or they have no shame. You is I could never talk to you again. And it's not politics, you know. It's the jackassness that come out of your mouth. You see the shit? You see the shit? Because I am telling you, you see that? It's gastric juices, call it. What does work on the food on the inside? Yeah. Like that eating away your brain, brother. It's eating away your brain, or either it is the weight. You need to go and lose weight because it's affecting your thinking. Because you can't tell me you see what's going on, bush all over the place. The amount of cocks that, you bring that cocks, you can't the amount of cocks that are buy. Because mosquito all over the place, me lying and exaggerating. Because the grass that's being cut. The place is a total mess, and you here, and I return shame on you, because I'm going to tell you something, darling. Don't do anything to get likes. Don't do it. You know the old people that are saying not all money is good money? But you looking like no matter what, or as Mr. Victor said last night, at any means necessary, you will try to find yourself a spotlight in this playing ground. That is why I see him. Me ain't saying nothing else, because 1 minute you're talking A, next minute you're talking B, next minute you're talking A and B. What you want? Who are you? Tell me who are you? What you stand for? What you believe in? That's why I want to know, because darling, you're sounding confused. And they say, I bipolar, you know. I am the bipolar one. So don't try to tell me like you're bipolar 2 and probably you're not medicated. If so, go and get your medication, darling, because you're in song right now. Right now, people confused. Who are you? What do you stand for? Because you're there with David Welch and the next tampon on our life talking about degenerate. So you can stop them and you can put opinion box in any place like how you put many others. But no, it's about the fame for all you. It's about the fame. It's about the fame for all you. You have no shame. All you have no shame, and David Welch, you're young. So you now come out, you know them young guns, you know when them youngsters come out, them young police, you know, they can't wait to lock up people and they can't wait to bust the gun. I understand, brother. You now come out. So you want a little excitement now, boy. But don't go listen, now they're looking like a shame. Or the air. It's our people who support me had stopped being friends with me. I only talk to them on the phone today. And they say, Kitty, I'm feeling shame. And I unfollow you, but I go follow you back. They're feeling shame, you know why? Because they're seeing what the government is doing. Even Ray Charles in the grave right now, the ancestors carrying the news for him and telling him, hey, this government is mashing up Trinidad and Tobago, and it's plain for anybody to see. But I go leave it just so. I will leave it just like that because I really want to go down too deep. But what going on? You want to know why this country is as it is? Because of people like you, tampon face. Tampon face, the eat a food mentality. So you just want to eat a food, tampon face. You continue eating your food, but I want you to remember what tampon does absorb. Remember what tampon does absorb. That's my contribution for the night.
All right, thank you, Kitty. So I have Xavier. Let me give Xavier, hold on a bit. Let me give Ms. Sharon Felix a chance to make a contribution, and then you will come up if you don't mind. Hi, pleasant good night, Ms. Sharon Felix.
Evening, Candace, and evening to the panel, evening to YouTube and everybody else listening. Candace, some time ago, and good night to Renison. Some time ago,
yes, good night, good night.
I was passing through and I went into Arita Live. And Arita Live was about the closing down of my lot and my part. And she was emotionally disturbed about it. And I come up and we end up in a conversation. And I cannot believe what I just sit down here for the past few minutes and listen to. Arita is a confused citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. And I don't want to go down on here, and I ain't come here to do that, But We must stand for something or fall down for absolutely nothing. And you on a panel with this man talking a pack of rubbish. And you ain't seeing it fit in no way. You're fighting up, but you ain't realize they ain't really want to hear you. So here what you doing? You jumping in life for life's sake, for likes? Me, I want nobody to like me. I want us to start talking the truth. And Candace would remember when we came to Candace and I started to talk to Candace, when I seen you would remember that, and Candace you would remember, when I started to outline things that was being done for the youths of Trinidad and Tobago, from the Ministry of Youth Development and something service. I forget what it is, MYSD or something like that. Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. And I told you about the housing grants from LSA and all the different things that was going on in this country. And to hear people like David Welch, there's not opinion box in it, there's opportunity box, boy. You are not in opinion box, it's opportunity box. The amount of things was done for young people. You know what they do? They come and scrap the whole website and move away everything for you not to find it. Because I'm talking to all and I'm going up on the internet looking for it. They move away everything. Young people were being trained in all kind of things under that ministry. They were even being trained in farming and a whole set of things. And who was successful for the 2 years, where I got a acre of land and one of the same housing grant, building the house for them and all of that. So that they could continue their farming and all the different works. And you coming to say about African people and young people and wherever, you're not encouraging young people to come outside here and look to fend for themselves and look to help themselves. You're fighting down young people and putting them down. That's what you're doing. And Jeffrey said, well, David Welch, you gone long time. Long time you gone. It's not coming back for you. But boy, opportunity box, I don't know what to say about all you. The three of all you sit down talking about all yourself and no boy. Yeah. All you talking about all yourself and marketing all your own self there. That's all you was doing. And all you want to tell, I want to dare all three of all you. All three of you all, I want to dare all you today to tell me what it have in all of this for all you. Because certainly, you all are singing for your supper. And all you ain't studying nobody else.
We're seeing that, Sharon.
They're singing for their supper. And whatever all you're getting, all you're not sharing it with the rest of young people. All you're taking all for yourself. But I want to tell you, I want to tell them something. People, young people, don't forget it. They just remember. They don't forget. They just remember. It might take them 4, 5, 6 years. And they're going to remember all you see. They'll remember all you see. You know what they're telling people? Last night, Jeffrey had it nice. Put back up that the dog and the man opening his mouth to collect the load of juice. That's what you're supposed to put back up for them.
Wow. Yeah,
I don't know why it is African people feel that they can't market their own self, or they're allowing people to push all that to market themselves, but they don't have time with we. We cost PNM, we cost Dr. Rowley, we cost this one, we cost that one, we cost the other one. But let me tell you something. I'm sorry tonight to tell all you know. The PNM had a vision. They had a vision and they was marketing the country. I don't know what's going on now. This is a year, just now we're going to be 2 years at this government. And there is nothing to show. Here what they're showing me. Only hardship and separation. Only hardship and separation. People sick. They want to dead. People know where they're getting their next meal from. And I will continue to tell all of that. People living on the streets. When you look On a Saturday, Sunday, you're seeing people, even on a Friday when it's Juma, how you call it with the Muslim and them, you're seeing people with their children walking to go and beg. Kitty said it just now.
Yeah.
People was working. PNM didn't fire nobody to victimize nobody. It's like, they come with a whole vengeance for black people. I'm sorry to say it tonight. And anything that has black people involved in it, mash it up. Look, I'm just listening. Some other company closed down. How much people? These people going back to wherever. They ain't pay no NIS to people. The way they're going just now, we have to look Blue Waters and this and that and the other. So you take away a contract from Blue Waters and you give it to SM Jalil. Oh God, Jesus. I ain't have no problem with that. But it's the manner in which they're doing things and an opportunity box. You ain't have no problem with that. You ain't have no problem with that. I want you to go and talk to Feroz Khan and let me see how much help you get you. Or you continue with that. But this thing, like Jeffrey, it doesn't make you want to cuss, and the other night my mouth slipped. But I hold in my tongue because I ain't wanted to slip tonight. Because it does really make you feel. It does really make you feel to say some kind of thing, boy. These are hurtful times for people, you know.
In between, we just allow little 1 and 2 cuss and thing, not much.
No, boy, Candace, if I start, I wouldn't stop. You know why? You know why I wouldn't stop? Because I see it. Listen, I see it every single day, Candace and all. Every day I see it. People coming to you, they're hungry, boy. They don't have food to get their children. People coming and begging you for you have any old books that your child have to go through all the books to see what I have that I could see if I could help 1 or 2 people and give them. And then all you want to tell me all is a government for these people, for the people. You say when UNC win, everybody win. You know when I hear that, I say, well, boy, UNC win, everybody win. Let me see what this government going to do. And if this government going and work good for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I done with this politics party thing. I going to come out of this and let me deal with helping people anyway. Anyhow,
An ostrich
anytime.
buried its head in the sand.
But let me tell you, yes, we are really ostrich here. You're right to play it. It's damn ostrich.
An ostrich buried its head in the
Not
sand.
in the sand. Not that one I want. Not that one I want. I want the one with dog and the man with the mouth open right by the dog bones. That's what I want. I wanted to send that for opportunity box. David Welch and Arita, I'm disappointed in you. I sit down and I listen to thing, and I say, I ain't interfering with all you, and I ain't interfering with that. But Arita, shame on you. Not that live what you had about my lot and my part, and you sit down there and hear them talking, and you, nah man, all you look, let me come off the live before I start to cuss, I go on.
I tell you, I'm allowed to cuss 2 or 2 little cuss, girl. All right. Thank you, Sean, for your contribution. I'm Mr. Xavier here. Mr. Xavier, welcome, brother. Welcome.
Good night, Trinidad and Tobago. Good night. Mr. Jeffrey?
Yes, sir. Yes, I see it.
Hold on. Don't pull my magic trick right there. I want you to play them 2 videos that I send you, Mr. Jeffrey, and I want you to play it. You know KFC have a special called the Big Box Bite? I want you to play that for the Big Box man. The Big Box. And I don't know opinion. There's something that goes here. People can have an opinion, but there's something called a stupid and a dotish opinion. I want you to play that for the dotish opinion box. The Big Box Bite man. Let me tell you this. When I'm done, I just want you to come out and I want you to play that for the degenerated ethnic group in this country. Because let me tell you this. Crime is committed by all in Trinidad and Tobago. I am not bringing crime down to any particular ethnicity because statistics has proven that it affects everybody and it is committed by everybody and we have different level of crime. So, Mr. Opinion Box could ride out with that stupidness. You know, Miss Felix coined it really, really nicely. He sit down there talking about your own. You sit down there talking about your own. If you want to look about what is degenerated, that same individual by the name of Mr. Welch was found driving up and down the priority bus route, breaking the law without a valid driver's license. Anybody in this country can remember that? That is degenerated. And you see this darling, I ain't calling no name, but you see the one who goes by the name of Darling, I have never seen an individual so much more confused. I won't be surprised if that Darling wake up in the morning and say she's bisexual, because I have never seen somebody so much confused in my entire life. 1 minute you yellow, 1 minute you red. What it is? This is not a point of time where you can stand up and be in the middle, you know. Because all you see in this country is going to hell on a precipice, and all you still want to be politically neutral. I prefer if you go and say, yeah, what? I am a UNC. I could say, okay, I know where you stand. Don't come and play today that you want to be neutral in this time, and you see in this country is going to hell, down to hell on a precipice. I want to focus on this opinion box to say that the PNM have never done nothing for black people in this country and whatever. Let me go back as far as I can. When I started to join, or when I started to follow politics actively in this country, let me tell you the very first thing Mr. Patrick Augustus Mervyn Manning did that put me in a position where I can take care of myself and my family today. He introduced Netco. You know what Netco is? If you have a business idea, you could go to that particular institution. You could give them your business plan, and they fund you the money to start up that business plan with an astronomically low interest rate. They was basically giving you the money to go and sell your business idea and turn it into a reality. That is an initiative of the People's National Movement, done to help every single individual in this country, not just black people alone. It didn't end there. When Basilio Pandey spoke about the dollar for dollar, you know what Patrick Manning said? He'd sit down and he did his analysis. And in doing his analysis, he would have understood that the black people in this country did not have the financial resource to match others. So he scrapped this dollar for dollar that Mr. Basilio Pandey did, and he said education is free across the board. You could go there. You could go there and get education up to tertiary level, absolutely free of charge. And if you don't have any interest in pursuing anything academically and you like to do things hands-on, well, let me tell you what the PNM has done. The PNM now would have bought Milat. They would have brought Hype. They would have brought Must. They would have bought, there's the next one, CCC. It's CCC. Help me now, Mr. Jeffrey. I think it's CCC.
Yeah, CCC. Yeah.
Right? They would have bought CCC. Right? And then this was now accentuated by when Foster came in, and Foster would have now developed this program and put it to a more wider horizon, that it can even now go further into the skill set of people of a certain ethnic class in Trinidad and Tobago. The UNC was known, you know what the UNC was known for, Jeffrey? The UNC was known for giving you Color Me Orange. You remember that?
There was learn for giving us live sport too.
Well, I ain't even going that far. I ain't even going with doubles and robbery. I'm not even going that far. Right? They were known for giving us live, and if you have live sport, Color Me Orange. When you just go and you're painting some craziness and you're getting a little stipend, and that is what? Color Me Orange. That is the only thing I know UNC have bought out in this country. And then the Prime Minister back then, who is the current Prime Minister today, now coming to tell you back then, she giving you $500 to go and breed, go and make babies. That's all I know the UNC ever tell people to go and do in this country. Go and do that. So when Mr. Opinion Box want to come and give a stupid opinion because he eating and like he started to eat out his brains, and want to come and talk things that is factual. You see why I like facts for Mr. Jeffrey? Because facts you cannot change facts. Facts are indelible things. You cannot do nothing with it. They are stubborn. You can try to erase it. You can try to push it. You can try to do what? Facts remain facts. That is why I don't follow people like David Welch and Opinion Box and the Darling one, because they are irrational. They will see facts there and they will still try all how to deny something that is factual, to try to sell their own foolish opinion. That's why I don't follow them. And you want to sit down here, have the unmitigated gall, after I gave all those statistics to talk about the degenerated ethnic group in this country? Well, Mr. Jeffrey, I sent you 2 videos. I wanted to play it for Trinidad and Tobago. And that is just, I'm sorry I didn't know that you was talking about this topic, because I want to show you what the degenerated group in this country looks like. I wanted to play it for Trinidad and Tobago so we could see. And I want Opinion Box to also see. So he could also see what the degenerated groups also look like, because you can only see it one way, because the big box bites you're buying every night, turning from the Opinion Box to the big box bites that you're buying in KFC every night. I wanted to play those videos, Mr. Jeffrey, right after I come off, so Trinidad and Tobago could see.
Xavier, what I'm saying is that I'm not getting the video to open in the link that you sent it by. That is why I was stopping here. I ain't getting it to open in the link. It opening on different videos.
Let me see if I can send it a different way for you.
All right. Candace, your mic off. Your mic off.
And stay quiet. Right, guys. So we have Miss Trini Torns. Present. Good night, Trini Torns, and welcome.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for having me. Thank you so much. So, with regards to that whole scene, I see all of them like salesmen. Because the reality is all of them singing for their supper. For example, just 10 minutes ago, Heavy could not stay in the box. The amount of fire coming behind him, he had to drop. Because they are given narratives. They don't even understand the narratives that they are given. They're making statements without any facts to back it. So when people come with the facts, they can't stand up to it. And it is very important for us, the consumer of these information, to know where we taking this information from. Because it could mislead us.
Yeah.
And I hear only mention Arita. Yeah, and she's confused. That is not confusion. That is deception by choice. You cannot be one way in the morning and by the evening you turn. And then that is not confusion. Confusion would be if there is no facts available. Because remember, it's discussions them be having. So she have other people's opinion, she have access to information, they choose to be gullible, they choose to carry this narrative. And this is why when somebody said just now, we have to be careful, unfollow them. Do not allow them in our mental space. Because they have a narrative, they have an agenda. We don't know, she probably want to get paid too. Me vex if you want to get paid, no. But keep that toxic behavior to all itself.
Exactly.
And that is not an opinion box. That is a walking septic tank. It's only shit that's be coming out of there.
Oh, Jesus.
So for the rest who interested, yeah, could consume that. But for us who looking for a better Trinbago, we need to keep these people far from us.
Yeah.
Yeah? So that's me there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you say that, because I now get Hannah the video from Xavier. So let me play the video, because it will be interesting to see the characters on this video. People quick to run up the mouth. The quick to say it's only African people that behave a certain way. Why you watch this video now?
Let me say it, Mr. Jeffrey. Trinidad and Tobago, I present to you a part of the degenerated group.
This nigga here, that nigga across there, and Mr. Wetman, we on the roll again.
Show them a day.
This is part 2.
Show them a day.
What's your day? You seen big boys toys? This only over here? Meet the constables. That's right.
My name is General.
And Ian Allen, we coming for you next.
With this, right? Look out for it. It's wetting.
He ain't taking no more bribe.
Hunt is on.
What are they?
Solia.
Over and out will continue just now. Looking for the next victim.
Give me the gun. Oh, who you the gun, Richard?
Shit on.
Don't pass him, I saw here.
Wait for the light facing me. Show them the light facing me. Nah, the light ain't facing you.
No, Richard. Watching my drive up now, right?
Watching by that car's coming up by.
Drive fast.
And the bridge coming up. Hey, whoa.
Bridge. Hey, you're
Don't worry, we must catch him back. And the middle of the road, see ya, boy. Yeah, you see ya. Yeah.
Actually, you'll see.
As soon as I come back.
John.
Don't pass.
Trinidad and Tobago. Or you asking what you now seeing. Let me play the next clip for you. Yeah, that is how the clip is. The slowing it down for you to see the gun. Yeah, so the slowing it down for you to see the gun. I mean, not much things that have shocked me, you know, but this one.
Wait, hold on, chat. I want to say something. So I want Mr. Opinion Box to see that. I don't know if his cholesterol was high that night. I don't know if he didn't take a diabetic tablet. And I am not recording anything on anybody. But you see, when you want to bring down my people and you want to bring down my race for your personal propulsion, I have a serious issue with that. That's why I took homage with NCW with that bullshit. So don't come here and start to talk about that. Because what you see there, you see who also are degenerated children. I give way.
Now, you see, I understand what you're saying, innit? The thing about it, crime is not just specific to one race. And when these fellas and them want to make a point, you understand, when they want to sell the soul, or you sell your soul. But don't try to sell me with that. Don't try to sell the US people with that. They are male doctors who is black. And you or you're forcing this thing into a race thing. There are people in this country that is up to no good, is a cross race. Yeah, Chatter, go ahead.
Well, you know, everything what happening there says the PNM people. So those set there will, you know, show that the UNC children, right? Like the UNC people who doing that, because you know everything is PNM this and PNM that. So you're now showing the UNC children, the finest, are the UNC children performing. So let me hear the response from David Welch and Heavy T and Opinion Box on that one.
The UNC children are very nice guns, though. Better than the hungry ones down here, so.
You see, the thing is, it shouldn't be about this, you know, but they so want to inject race. They want to come with this divide and conquer. So why is that how we fighting against each other on the ground and pointing fingers at each other. They're fixing themselves, you know. They're making so much of mischief that they start to get paranoid now because they're telling themselves they know they're turning the keys, they're twisting the dagger into the soul of the people, that the people are frustrated so much. They're telling themselves anytime now Trinidad and Tobago could erupt. So they're running now to talk about people want to unalive them and they want to tighten the security. They better take care of them same security and leave them. Wait. When water more than flour.
If I may say something.
Better wait. Yes, Trinity.
If I may say something, because honestly speaking, I don't want to sleep on all there. But I wake up in time to watch them three UNC children with that gun in the handy. But anyway, if I may
I know
say,
your first free go ahead.
if I may say this, if all they know all the history, all they know there's a history called in America called Tulsa Street. I don't know if Mr. Jeffrey know about it, Black Wall Street, where the black people at them long time, they used to work for the white man, but they used to invest in their own people. And they said it's unfortunate that a white woman lie on a black boy and the white people burn down Black Wall Street and stuff like that. But these people used to work as maids and butlers and thing in the white man house, and then they used to come and invest the money in the own people on Black Wall Street, where they will have the own banks, the own shops, the own those things, right? If it's up to me, I say we boycott all them East Indian shops, parlors, groceries, all the establishment, and just invest in we own people, because they're making it about race, right? So I think we should invest in we own people and make we own people become rich and become of something. Because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, everything is PNM. If a man kill a man, PNM train again. It's PNM areas. They love to say PNM areas. You understand? Build generational wealth within your own people, because they still none them doing it. So why can't we do it and empower our own people and build generational wealth within our own people, invest in our own people, and boycott the East Indian establishment? Why we can't do that?
All right, Trinity, you can't say a contribution. No, I see we have somebody.
Watch out, that gun there that I see. What them fellas was trying to do there? Like they was trying to shoot at next vehicle that passing there. Boy, this thing different, you know. I see that there and I get frightened there in a Candace. These little boys playing with these big guns, you know.
Mr. Jeffrey is still pronouncing it wrong, Mr. Jeffrey. Degenerated group, man. Said it incorrectly, no, man.
Yeah, but opinion box. What you calling them all kind of confused box? That shit box. That is a shit box. That man talking about black people. You see, them fellas and them so trying to sell a story that. It remind me, I when that boy stand up next to what is his name, boy? Oh God, killer. Something Trinidad killer or some kind of thing. Stand up next to Camila and say, Rowley, a dog.
Yeah.
So want to sell. What are you doing? You understand? You opinion box. Arita girl. Get yourself together, girl. Get yourself. I still have a little hope for you. I still have it. I believe people could change. I believe you in long gone. But you had to do some soul searching. What you doing on a live with people, with these people and them? I tell you now, here's something. You see birds of a feather that flock together. That ain't no fake thing. If you see an enemy and somebody liming, bet your bottom dollar. One of them behind your back and one of them at the side of you. Trust what I said.
Jeffrey, And opinion, well, what shitbox you're calling it when? And that on the radio? And
Yeah.
that have a program?
Yeah, that's on the radio.
And Welch have a program?
Yes, yes.
Well, then Rita must be looking for a program too.
And it is alleged.
Well, Miss Felix, she will have the most confusing topic because she go start to talk about rain and she go think, I have never seen a woman so confused, sir. I don't know.
She's a very confused person. But if I may ask this question, if I may ask this question, right? And it is alleged that Arita Darling husband is an executive of the PNM. He's an executive director of in the PNM, or he has some big job in the PNM. So if it is alleged that your husband is some big boy in the PNM, why you on live bashing that same PNM that is feeding you? You understand? Because it's the PNM that is feeding you, because it's
All right, so we seem to have lost Trinity a little bit there. Trinity, are you
something wrong with this?
Like darling, darling cut the internet. Like darling cut the internet.
So I have Lioness Kane here. I want to believe I know who that is. I want to give Lioness Kane to come up and make a contribution. Lioness Kane, I know you've been there a while. I want to hear from you, darling. I think I know who he is. Lioness Kane, going once, going twice. Hi, pleasant good night, love.
Candice.
Darling.
This
You want to make a
Lioness is
contribution? Yes, I know.
You catch me kind of off guard. I would like to, but not right now. I ain't have nothing to say right now. So,
all right, darling.
Yeah.
This is the woman. You see this
off guard.
You see this woman here? When I was going mad for the UNC, I'm a good co-worker. I'm a poor somebody. That woman that vexed with me. She used to call me Madam Rowley. And I used to call, she used to call me Madam Kamala. And I used to call she Madam Rowley. That woman tried to put sense in my head and I wasn't listening. This lady here. I'm telling you, every day when she see me passing, she straight be vexed with one another because I bashing the PNM.
Well, customer.
And I cuss up she asked what I want to tell her, darling. I'm sorry, I come back home. I can't take that pressure.
Welcome back home. Welcome.
So, Cathy, next time, I will pull you up and they will make a contribution. Right, darling?
All right, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Kiss up my cousin for me.
All right, yeah.
Okay, nice. You can come now.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, guys.
That is friend to have.
Well, telling me and a woman with head and head. You say, Candice,
I feel the real issue with Arita. Arita trying to see if the UNC or the PNM, whoever, will give her an offer or hire her to blog on their behalf, or give she some work, or give she something. That is why she batting on the both sides to see who will call her first, who will give her an offer.
We are KFC on the line.
She playing gladiator. That young gladiator is operating, you know. He starts off good and he's selling the thing. Whoever called me first for the best price, I'm taking it. Playing that.
Wait.
What KFC coming to talk about?
Let me hear KFC that.
Hello,
Yes,
good
sir,
night
Jeffrey.
to my PNM family, Sharon Felix, Junior Davy. I see the whole black crew there.
Julia Davy.
All they get black conscious just all of a sudden. When the PNM was always in black conscious, and the PNM was to operate, all they get black conscious, all of a sudden just so. You remember Rolly went on a platform and tell the nation and the world he disappointing black African people in the bottom of the ladder. What he do to uplift black people? The same way he gave Harry, Paul, John all them opportunities and make them millionaires in this country. You make any millionaires in the black community, you uplift the black community. Shyflex talking about UNC suffering black people. When Shyflex had power for the last 9 years and I was calling 91.9 and costing the last regime and this and that, and she knew how that challenges. and they take away my grant, my disability grant and all kind of thing in there. As she out of office and she's sneaking on Kent all down there, tell you about she and Gapsing Dolly was good. And she, if you didn't know that and all them kind of thing in there. What do you do to black people? I don't want to hear that black talk, you know. They want to talk, I don't know.
Yes. Yes, Sharon.
Black people about eat our food.
Sharon.
For long black people.
Sharon, what to do? Cut him off?
Cut him no more cut back. I'm talking the truth. Go black people about eat our food. One more thing before I go. I heard the Button Kingsley calling my...
Right.
Let him go. Let him go. I wanted to ask him.
Why you let the man go on, boy?
Why
Jeffy make the man go, boy?
Hold on, let Sharon talk.
I wanted to ask him who caused him to lose what do you call it? His disability fund.
Disability.
Who caused you to lose it? Your stupidity caused you to lose it. Because you know they was putting down your name and running your name. And you know that's what come up when they're doing the investigation. Is that I? Is that me? But you say you're disingenuous? Look, when you was calling me to call the man to get the little money and pay you, and I was doing that on your behalf, I wasn't helping you. You see, that's why all you, just like opinion box. That's why they have all you, how they have all you. Because you won't stop. You come in one time, you're cussing the UNC, and then the next time you're cussing PN. Make up your mind where you want to do now. Nobody doesn't put all in the net. Only that's put all themselves. Only that's put all your own self. Look how long you're in the UNC. What do they do for you? What do they do for you? They get your house. You have to pay your rent. You should have get your permanent job, boy. You should have been getting a permanent job. Boy, I'm vexed to cut him off. I wanted to ask him for the answer. Is I making work your disability fund? Is that me? Is you and your stupidness caused it? And the people who are find on your name? Not me? Look, I don't want tonight to turn out like the other night.
So
I will keep
So KFC, they say it's because of your foolishness that caused that. It's not because I don't pay them.
And if he tell me so, he said I was running in him as a ghost and he didn't know. That's what he said.
Mr. Jeffrey, if it's one thing I realize, if it's one thing I've understand, based on KFC contribution, he's really disabled in truth. And I believe that, but I'm not saying anything to anybody, but he's really disabled in truth.
I personally think that KFC just call the show for rage bait. I personally think he just do that. You see that rage bait thing? He just try to get people nerves on the air and say, I think that is a rage bait thing he just be doing. I don't take KFC serious.
Why the UNC don't get you disability back for him? You complaining to the wrong people, KFC. Your party and power right now. You supposed to be getting big disability check and you come in here and blaming Sharon. You're wicked and calling we to come back home. You're a wicked man. It's good for you. As a matter of fact, it's good to take your disability. Kitty said that because you're too damn stupid. The PLM take it. Listen, your disability gone. And your party is in power right now, darling. You could lie back home and you just go in on the 27th, the 28th and collect your thing in the post office. But you're telling KFC, behave yourself. According to Xavier, you really something like you just say your brain. It starts you only in mobile. Go and get a checkup.
KFC, what's going on here, KFC? I mean, here's a man that I see on the streets with us talk normal. But look, people saying opposite. I really thought KFC that we pay them just come and take away your grand just so I didn't know you was in some kind of thing that you caused that on yourself. KFC man, don't do people that now, man. Don't do people that KFC.
Tell KFC, check back.
I wanted to replay these two videos, Mr. Jeffrey. I want that point to drive home. I want people to see. I want opinion box. That man from Labrie, that toad from Labrie, to come up and see, to see.
What?
But now, Mr. Jeffrey, I shame him.
This nigga here, that nigga across there, and Mr. Wetman, we on the roll again. This is part 2. What you do? You seen big boys toys. They solely over here. Meet the constables. That's
My
right.
name is General.
And Ian Allen, we coming for you next.
With this, right? Look out for it. It's wetting.
We ain't taking no more bribe.
Hunt is on.
What are they?
Suya. Over and out will continue just now. Looking for the next victim.
Give me the gun. Oh, who using the gun, Richard?
Shit on.
Don't pass him, I saw here.
Wait, but you like facing me, Shuman? You like facing me? Nah, they like them facing you.
No, drive up now, right?
Watching, but that car's coming up fast.
Drive fast.
And the bridge coming. Hey, whoa. Don't worry, we must catch him back. And the middle of the road, you see ya, boy. Yeah, you see ya. Yeah. As soon as that car pass,
Go fast.
Boy, what is that I see in there, boy?
Is this video convenient? Apart from that, I don't know if you
It's just a certain. It's just a few people that does promote race. It's not everybody. You see, and that is why we have to call them out. You see, men like Opinion Box, he promoting race. That talk that he talking there is a race talk. The talk that Arita condoning with them fellas and them, that is race talk. That thing to make, you know what they're doing, eh? Let me tell you what they're doing. You ever had bachak in your yard and you set a bachak bait and you put it on a bachak, you pay it for the bachak to take for him to carry it back down to the nest and thing. That is what men like Opinion Box and men like David Wedge is encouraging the black. So they're trying to talk at this guy's kind of a conscious talk. But underneath that is the vision. Underneath that is a payday. And they're doing anything for a dollar. I can imagine if Opinion Box could say them thing for a dollar, misquote facts. Misquote facts, the man misquote the thing entirely. The man said, pay them closing down school all in Port of Spain. Why they close down the school in Port of Spain? Why? It's because of crime. Around that time, there was a high concentration. You're seeing that crime is not just a poverty thing. It has layers. And when you see the black boy on the street, he going and hold up and robbing bank. Or might rob somebody a couple of thousands of dollars. But what about white collar crime? There are people washing money to the tunes of billions of dollars in Trinidad and never see a jail and will never see a jail. This year in this country, it gone. And for men like Opinion Box, that sewer to come up here, he with David Welch, boy, oh God, boy. Have mercy on Oya, boy. Because Oya bound to suffer. Yeah, Candice.
And you're not studying them, so you need to pay attention to your YouTube followers. Yes. Somebody will say the host does not check the chat for hints and advice. So you need to show them some love on that end.
All right. So all the YouTube followers, yes, good evening. Good evening, YouTube followers. Sorry about that. I see Arita 1. Good evening. Gloria Fornelia. Good evening.
Altia.
Altia, sorry, Chai.
Altia, on your mind?
Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes, chatter.
And it's sending a video there.
Right, let me see the video.
Watch it. You could watch it and if you want, you could play it.
All they feel the whole night here. All they just feel settled here.
Now this video is where they're talking about what's going on with the detainees in Tetron there right now.
I don't tell all you already.
The people who they hold under the SOE.
Right.
I'm telling you, Opinion Box is doing these things for money, you know. Well, don't forget, Opinion Box. He from Labrador, you know, we don't really have much down here, so we had to feed or we had to feed. One Opinion Box.
Feed us, but don't talk that kind of shit about black people. So like he not black or the way
exactly.
this song, let me be.
But this woman on too heavy tea.
Hello.
This woman heavy tea.
One at a time.
This woman heavy tea. This woman coming and spilling all kind of rubbish about the UNC so good and the UNC doing so much to improve the lives of citizens. I listening to this woman. You understand? That is our next one, our next UNC blogger who getting paid to come and spread the propaganda for the UNC government. Heavy tea. a Rasta woman. This woman is a waste of time as well too. I can't understand you sitting down and talking about the UNC so good and they're helping people and watching the state of the country right now. Can you see how much mosquito and sandfly and thing we are right now? Because
Chatter, hold 1 minute, please. I think Finito trying to say something.
Excuse me, Chatter. On behalf of all women, that is not a woman, eh? We know what that is, but that ain't no woman. So find the next word to describe that.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Chatter. Who's that?
Trinidad, your trouble. But take that. Trinidad, your trouble.
Candice, who's that?
A new blogger called Heavy T. A new blogger. And she blogging on behalf of the UNC and saying, where's that, Sharon?
How much heavy it have? All them heavy and them real heavy.
Well, this one is Heavy T.
Trinity was trying to chime in to say something. Trinity, go ahead a bit, darling.
No, what I was saying is we need to start a GoFundMe for opinion box. I tell her the man in life.
Oh God, Trinity, I warn you. Stop it now. Oh God. You know, oh God. Hey, if they have a night, we don't have to warn.
We don't talk about people's physicality. Let me just stick to
Let me keep it on the points now. Let me keep it on the points. What they don't talk about. Don't go over the top. And don't be exaggerating.
You see, when people are dragging before they're dead, remember, ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. For them to stand up now with a whole big broad chest and say the PNM and do nothing for them, they will drag their way to hell. Because if the PNM didn't do, none of we wouldn't have a proper education. If the PNM didn't do, we would not have been the most developed island in the Caribbean. If the PNM didn't do. So if them born 2025, good luck for them.
You know what's so sad about that? It's 3 African. You see that song that was sung this year that they didn't put to Kerry from to sing in the Calypso Monarch because they said it was racist. African for sale. People might find that song abrasive, but that song is so accurate. You have 3 people of the African ilk. Sit down and berating your own ethnicity. I wait when I see other groups do that. It will never see that. How these people take pleasure in doing this, boy? How? How do these people take pleasure in doing this?
But
money. That's why it was so easy for African people to be in slavery for 400 years.
Xavier, the same people they're talking about is the same people they use for election to do all their dirty work, and you didn't have a problem with that. You did not have a problem with it. And now you want to come and talk. You flip the script to talk about African this and Africa. It's the same people, and he was a part of it.
Yeah.
They were all a part of it. So it was used, abused, and misused.
So that song African for sale? So truth.
Well, Sharon, I'm glad you say that, because part of the next plan for next week, we will you see this video here? We are going to decode this video here. And there will be several individuals that will come and talk about this video.
I have lots of information to share. Lots of information. Andy Williams, Ground Report, Aisha Wells. I have a lot of information to give you right now, and I have a lot of information to disseminate. And when I disseminate the information, the question that will be on everyone's mind is whether or not we should trust the Ground Report team, whether or not we should trust Andy Williams and them. That's going to be on the minds of every single individual tonight after this. So they can make this trend again. Because someone was paid somewhere by some other individual on the Ground Report team, Real Media TT, somebody paying someone to bad talk pushback. Keep that in your mind.
So what we are going to do here, Trinidad and Tobago, is that whole entire clip. When I see it played off in the public domain, at the time, I remain silent. At the time, Victor remained silent about that. Or you want to know what was behind that? Next week, we will unfold that whole story for you. Or you're getting tired with people in Trinidad. We already know activism in this country with certain individuals was a hustle. We didn't know that from day one. But we allow certain things to take place and never brought it to the forefront because we believe at the time in the deception of the UNC. We didn't believe it because they keep on playing it all the time in we ears. And I say, you know what? Probably we need to get rid of the PNM to see what's going on. And look what we end up in. Look what we end up in. It's not now David Welch and them fellas and them was deceptive, you know? It's long time. It's long time. Activism is for sale with certain people. When they say the breaking story, they're calling certain people, you know, this man tell me this. If you give me 5,000 or 10,000, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. That is what it is. Because you're in a place where you're collecting information and people coming to you with genuine hurt concerning certain problems. And when they hear this story, they're going and call the people and them and saying, you know, Jeffrey come to me with a story. Candace come to me with a story. If you give me a piece of money, I'll let that go away. That is what's going on here with certain people. So when they come in and calling on you to support them, the activism is for sale in Trinidad. Long time. So I did have no doubt that at the end of the day I would end up with something. I didn't have no doubt that. Or you see he sing a song and kiss Camilla and take. Or you see all of them who was on Iowa station, he get rid of a certain batch before, and then all the rest will remain on Camilla program. Or you understand, people have to come and break it down to tell all you boy. All of them end up on radio station for sale. What is Stefan Reese, who would have activists for years on TV, piloting your views. Come here, come. What do you think they was doing? They was filtering information. Anytime they come and they talk about something about UNC, they call the UNC council like, hey, oh yeah, back up on your work sooner. And the PNM on the blasting it out in the public. The what you to hear.
Well, let me tell you this now, Renison. Let me tell you this now. On the 91.9, you could not say nothing more come line. You used to get a call. Hey, come off of that. You can't do that. You was muzzled. But hear what? Anything to cost the PNM, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I remember. We got an ultimatum. It's either it cost what you call it? It's NITCO. That was under Ministry of Works. Yeah. Remember when the boat issue?
Yes.
The boat. We had a cost for 26 days because I said, brother man, I can't do that. And I'm not going to do that. Or your ultimatum must take your holidays without pay. I say I can't do that and I'm not doing it. So it are things what people was doing and what I wasn't doing. I get my salary slash. I get my days cut. And I say I ain't stopping because a certain individual, they tell me that they was called to call my program to frustrate me for me to leave. I say, I'll leave it when I feel to leave. Nobody shall get me to leave. Unless give me a letter and send me home. Give me a letter and send me home. But listen, you wasn't allowed to say nothing about the UNC. Oh, they calling you one time, you're getting a call. But you see, when you're cussing the PNM, oh Lord, you could go ahead. They didn't care about that. But I left the day to see the same heavy and the same TC end up leaving there because they ain't getting money. Anyhow, all you see me, I reach my destination. I'm going in the shower and going to bed. But I have to pray first for Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aaron, for your contribution. So, if I may, it's now 10:35. We went well over our time. I'm sure Mr. Renison Jeffrey would agree with me. So, guys, we're about to bring the program to a close. Anybody would like to make a closing contribution? Short and sweet. Hello?
Yeah, let me make it. We got fall asleep. I know Mr. Jeffrey say how he like to give people a second chance and he giving Arita a second chance to see if she'll come around. But Mr. Jeffrey, I'm tell you the truth. Arita is an opportunist. And she would, anywhere that she could put herself to be relevant, get more likes and views, and anywhere she could put herself where she could get opportunity to be paid or whatever, she going with the flow. She is not going to she is not going to stay neutral to nothing or be on one pace. If she find opinion box and them is backing is backing PNM, is backing UNC, she's staying there. And if she go in her next life that backing PNM, she backing PNM. She a back work of this. Do not look for she to change. She's not going to change. With that, all have a blessed night. Love all you. Pray. All enjoy. Good night, everybody.
Yes, Trinity. If you didn't put your last say, your name wasn't Trinity. Jesus. Chatter, let me hear you. Trinity, I don't hear you. Oh, you're first for the confusion. I love your
want to do opinion box.
Oh, Trinity.
Opinion box. As a man from South.
Trinity, have a good night.
Trinity, have a good night. We love you.
Disappointed.
Trinity, have a good night. I just want to say, Candace and to everybody on the panel and Mr. Jeffrey, all you have a blessed night and let me pray and keep it together. And these opinion box and David Welch and all of them who's just sucking the country dry right now together with the UNC government, all you do listen to them and boycott them, and them is just a big waste of time. That's my contribution. Everybody have a good night.
Right. So, Mr. Xavier, you would like to give a closing contribution?
Yeah. Just keep the fight. Keep your eyes open. There are lots of deceptiveness going on in this country. You just have to keep your eyes open. And you see that nonsense with the trio of dotishness that they come and spill the other night. You have to say thank God for a platform like this that we could then denounce that at every possible given opportunity. So let me keep our eyes open, let me keep focused, let me pushing for the good fight.
Right. So Miss Felix, you would like to make a closing contribution? Or she must go into the shower?
Well, no, I come out the shower. Oh gosh. All I want to say tonight, right? Tonight was an excellent night and an excellent, and listen, this platform has been growing and growing and growing and growing. And I want to tell Renison, the popularity that this platform has, it is a lot of people envy. So they're trying all kind of things to be like this platform. So I just want to tell him, keep it up, all of you all and all of us, and continue to bring the facts and the information. So with that being said,
well, before you go, Sharon, don't go. I bring up your partner Michael. I know he has something to say. I have to bring him up.
God.
Michael.
Good night to each and every one of you. Well, I know no reaching you. Oh baby. So I just coming to say to all my lovers, pleasant good night to you, and the haters and traitors. I ain't leaving all you out. All you too damn bad and wicked. You understand? And all them bullers in the UNC.
Hey! Michael.
But boy, but all you know is a set of bullets in the UNC. All you playing, all you don't know that.
Mr. Jeffrey, yeah.
It's how I just began caution right through this plastic this stuff
I
and
try
saying,
to caution Mr. Michael.
Nah,
I
but
am trying to caution Mr. Michael.
Trinity, the difference with you and Michael, you had to learn from Michael. And Michael don't call names at all. You know. He see the ballers and them in the UNC.
Yeah.
No, Trinity.
You see, I wouldn't come up here and name nobody. All the ballers know themselves in the UNC. So I don't have to call them by name. But I know all you know them too. And all you know them.
Let us pray.
It have someone radio station working too, you know.
Hey, boy, what's going on here tonight, man? This program take a big turn.
No, but I'm sorry that I'm coming late, but I'm glad for the opportunity just to come in and say good night.
Good night, darling.
Good night. Good night. I have a question for Mr. Michael. I have a question for Mr. Michael.
Yes, no, Trinity. Don't call me no mister. I's only 59 years. What do you ask wrong with you?
No, you see, my mother teach my manners. So
okay, all right.
Okay, so I'll just call him Michael then. Michael, right. I say this and I retaliate sometimes, right? And me ain't going down bash you for that. I still cool with you. I okay. But I don't know if you see the video that Mr. Jeffrey didn't put up the other day. Concern they put up tonight of what Arita and Opinion Box was saying about the PNM party. I don't know if you see the video, but what you think about some of the things that Arita does be saying?
No, well, let me tell you something. I just pop up on nearly everybody live when I get the opportunity. But if you realize I doesn't have nothing much as I just listen, you have to listen and learn. Don't learn the stupidity of these people, but learn how dotas they are.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael. Thank you very much, Mr. Michael.
Mr. Michael, is it true that Barry is your MP?
No. No. Barry is not our MP. Which one are the Barry you're talking about?
No. The get them performance as your MP?
No.
Okay, so Mr. Hussein, Mr. Saddam is your MP?
No. That union guy who licking bottom.
Oh.
What is his name? I don't even remember his name. You know, it's one in Labra and one in Point. That one for Labra there.
Oh.
Yeah. That one you stop. Just now, you see that Palaseco velodrome? That is the one who stopped the work on the velodrome. And right now, they're going up in High Woods. As I tell my boy, he ain't coming, let me walk the street with Victor and let me show the population what really going on.
No, we don't worry yourself, Mountain. We setting up something, man. All are we coming down? All are we coming down? Down the Candace coming down and all.
Keep me informed. Take care when all bring down Candace down here. Just now you hold your hand. Take care when all bring down Candace down here. She want to go back, you know.
Me want Candace, no point, man.
I'm not from Point. I'm not from Point.
As I said, Michael, I love you. Sharon, Chata, Trinity, Jones, Mr. Jeffrey, I love all you. So back to the closing contribution. Listen to me. As a working woman, I'm fed up with all you.
I go and close. I go and close, but I love the bone. I don't close. Me making no closing contribution. All I want to say to you and Mr. Jeffrey, all you don't give up with this opportunity, don't give up with this life. All you teaching the population a lot, continue doing what all you're doing. You know, and if you realize it don't have no empty box here, on most of them other live, it have a lot of empty box. You know why? You know why the box empty? Them bullers and
Miss
them.
Wine, my God.
I saying good night. I saying good night to
All
each
right.
and everybody.
All right, Michael.
Trinity, move back your mic. Nice.
I just laughing.
A little more open, so.
I just
Trinity, move
laughing.
back.
All right, we are Kitty.
I don't care.
We are Kitty and we are Trinity Jones to make the comment, the closing comment.
Kitty, make your closing contribution, please. Trinity, do not unmute your mic, eh? Right. Kitty? Kitty was in the first tired too, and as whole lessons going. All right, Trinity Jones, make your closing contribution, love.
Mr. Michael, I want to ask you one thing. What do you think about Barry Paranas with his
It won't
death
go
threat?
and mix you, you know.
Yes, no. Let Kitty talk, and I will come back with your answer.
Kitty, no.
Because I hear Kitty voices.
She would have passed on the mic to Miss Trinity Jones.
Okay, ask me the question again. I didn't hear it carefully.
No,
What do you
just
think
now.
about this death threat against Barry Paranas?
Boy, there are no death threat for nobody, boy. What death threat are you talking about? That's to fool the population. It are no death threat. How all the time Rowley bad and Rowley party bad and Rowley cabinet bad and all the PNM ministers bad and none of them never get death threat? How is only UNC ministers and people who belong to the UNC getting death threat? How is only them? It is not death threat. That is a takeaway all your eyes from the real issues of this country, the real issues of what going on. You see the people in Penal, they run them with this plan business that they say they want to build. All they don't get tired up. It is not death threat for nobody. That's to fool the population. Death threat. He lucky he ain't get a bottom threat.
All right, Mr. Michael. Trinity Jones, what's your closing comment?
My closing comments is just a reminder for Trinidad and Tobago. Not everything you hear, you listen to. We live in an era of deception and do not accept facts until you check it out for yourself. Yeah, and for chatter question, we don't eat wabin. Them trying to be relevant. There's one dead fish we don't eat. So Bularat could find out. Alright, guys.
Give them a time of your life.
Okay, Kitty, go ahead and give your closing contribution.
Oh, God.
There's this thing on. Let me get a closing contribution, my love.
Everybody have a good night. Because there's so much things I want to say. I might go down to deep opinion. Bob shocked me there tonight with all that I see on Jeffrey Live days. Like this man say, well, all right. I find he do a little more extra, boy. But dog, the UNC get you. They really get my they really get a man, you know. That man hate people right now, you know. All your opinion box hate we, you know. You like we, you know. All you please pray for your African brothers and sisters, the ones who are completely sold already, so they could wake up at some point in time now. We need a nationwide prayer for we African brothers and sisters to wake up. You understand? Because all they're really moving like the Decepticons right now, according to Lisa. It's serious. Everybody have a good night. All of the devil steal all your joy. Keep safe. Nice.
Thank you, Kitty. Xavier, you had made a closing contribution already. Mr. Xavier?
Yeah, all I just want to say is goodness and give them performance.
All right, guys. So my closing contribution is
I go in, but let me just give me a closing comment now. All you see this opinion box, and how far all they went back with this guy. This guy used to be living on the people, begging. He used to complain about some back pain, pretend he had back pain, and living off of people. So when you're getting things easy from the UNC, when they're paying you to talk stubbornness, you wouldn't take that? I don't know how far they went back with this opinion box guy, you know. But I could tell you always used to be begging for a dollar, begging for this one.
I'll tell you something, eh? Hey, you see Olia? If I give Olia a chance, Olia will talk your whole night. I don't go to work in the morning. My cousin can say, Olia, don't forget to pray. Olia can remain. This is Mr. Jeffrey's life.
No,
I
well,
don't want to go and sleep.
we're closing up. I understand what's going on here. You know. I mean, at the end, we have a happy moment, but people, we really have to go. We really have to go. So thank you for joining us here. Tomorrow again. Sharon, tomorrow again.
Yes, I.
Michael.
Warrior,
Yes,
if you give me a chance, I wouldn't talk. I will just hush my mouth and lie down and relax.
You come too late. You should have come in the middle of the melee. Where you want to go and run down. You let cooking and them out there. You let Honey Darling and them and then come in late. Don't worry with you.
No. Really and truly, I had us to go and visit a candidate. I really had us to do that.
He went and gave them performance.
That's why you're calling them now candidates. You went out there to give performance before everything happened.
Give them a time of your life.
For carnival, this river rat, this river witch. Yeah, back all about on truck. Yeah, back here, there no threat. But you getting threat now.
Have a good night. My God.
Mr. Michael, what kind of people in the UNC again?
Them bullets.
Olia, thanks for joining us here. Yes, thanks for joining us here on the live here tonight. But oh God.
Kitty had to tell Mama about opinion box and Pretty Douglas. I really hear he was she DM to her. And she dissed him and he tried to bash she. I really hear that to her. Well, have a good night.
Because he was telling them, who tell you to go and pick up a gun when it's on other things? That's the pitch I running with. I'm not running with which politician tell them what. Not the Kareem Marcel, not what Eric Williams say. I'm not talking about
no,
that.
but you see, you have to deal with the course.
I am speaking about...
He referred, when they were making the choice to educate the people, he referred to schools as cowsheds, right? And chose not to make schools to educate Afro-Trinbagonians, and Afro-Trinbagonians supported that.
Listen to me, yeah? Isaac Ellis like to, when we talking, at the end of the day, I don't care what it is. He could call them cow shed, goat shed, whatever shed he chooses to call them. I am speaking directly to the community of itself, in and of itself, because you call them the cow shed, but it's plenty cow shed they build after that. And out of them cow shed comes great success, because the parents and persons from that community work hard, whether it's donation, whether it's to sell this, whether it's to sell that, they're strong in the children PTA, etc., 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 etc.
So, man, here's something. You go in and rally the black community to get them to do what you trying to say.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Guys, hold on. Because I think you're gonna unmute, by the way, but I think both of you guys on the same line. I think Obi line comes from the political side of things and wanting to deal with that, and Aretha, you non-political and just on the side of human and just people in general now. But Obi was also speaking about the same thing that you're speaking about, the Indian and the African, and wanting African to do better because the Indian people in general do better as well. Not to make it about race, but that's basically the same thing that both of you guys talking about. Unfortunately, I think there's a misunderstanding in the communication there. Unfortunately,
David, I understand what she's saying, but hear what I'm trying to tell you, right? One of the hardest things to do is mobilize Afro-Trinbagonians to do the right thing. And since she wanted, the reason why I asked her the question earlier on is because I don't speak in general, I don't ever generalize. I just always say there's a large portion or a small portion or a majority, right? The majority of Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you. You just see it on our social medias. Look at all the platforms that have the most degenerate content or degenerate behaviors. They have the largest set of followings. You want to know why? Because that is what we gravitate to, right? We are always quick to fight and undermine each other instead of trying to lift up one another, right? And we never stand for the right things. Look how many schools were closed down right in the Port of Spain area that was closed down by the PNM. Then you had schools that Kamla was built that they neglected to finish build. And I always tell people what PNM capitalizes on is the ignorance of their East-West corridor voter base. Because that is why I made the statement saying that if it required a means test to vote, PNM could never rule this country. There's a reason why voting is dumbed down to the dumbest version of just stamp a symbol next to X next to your symbol. It is done on purpose to make sure that down to the dumbest person who doesn't even understand half of the things that you are talking about, Arita, half of the things David is talking about, or half of the things I am talking about, can still vote. You have a society that votes most of the time on things they don't even blasted understand. And that is the truth. So how do you empower a society of people who don't understand these things? When you go into a ghetto community and you try to have conversations like this, they will load you up. They don't want to hear what you had to say. And the reason for that is because they've been abandoned so long, they don't... Why you feel me and X always will be saying on the radio station, there is no intervention. Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you. Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior. Me asking you and telling you.
Because you was telling them who tell it to
rhetoric that blames Afro-Trinbagonians for degenerative behavior and that misrepresents the PNM as simply exploiting ignorance instead of investing in communities. 1. The degenerative behavior claim is a harmful generalization, not data. The statement that the majority of Afro-Trinbagonians in Trinidad and Tobago gravitate to degenerative behavior is not supported by reliable statistics. Official crime data shows that young males of African descent are disproportionately involved in some violent crimes, but this is a small subgroup, not the majority of the entire Afro-Trinbagonian population. Contradicted by broader social research. Studies on youth in Trinidad and Tobago explicitly note that youth aged 11 to 17 overall are not heavily involved in delinquent or illegal activities, even in high-risk areas. A classic stereotype, not a factual claim. Labeling an entire ethnic group as majority degenerate is a moral condemnation, not analysis. It ignores the large numbers of Afro-Trinbagonians who are teachers, nurses, entrepreneurs, students, community leaders, and volunteers. A responsible argument must separate a small high-risk segment, often young males in specific urban hotspots, from the broad Afro-Trinbagonian community, most of whom are not involved in violence or crime. 2. The problem is structural abandonment, not ethnic moral failure. The real issue is not degenerate Afro-Trinbagonians, but years of systemic neglect in certain communities. Cure Violence Project Reason outcomes show that when targeted, evidence-based interventions are introduced in distressed communities, many with large Afro-Trinbagonian populations, violence drops significantly. Calls for violent incidents, gunshots, and hospital gunshot admissions fall. This proves that behavior is not fixed by race, it changes with investment, support, and opportunity. The parliamentary No Time to Quit, Engaging Youth at Risk report identifies that the young males most at risk of drugs, guns, and violent crime are predominantly of African descent, especially in urban hotspots like Laventille, but ties this to poverty, lack of opportunity, broken family structures, weak community infrastructure, not at ethnic degeneracy. The logic must be: intervention works, community behavior changes, outcomes improve. That is the opposite of it. They are just degenerate and will always be. 3. Schools were not cowsheds, they were contested political assets. The claim that schools were treated as cowsheds and that Afro-Trimbagonians supported neglect of black education is a misreading of history. Multiple schools in the Port of Spain area and other urban communities have been closed, understaffed, or left unfinished over different administrations, not just one party. Some closures and early dismissals were due to security concerns, not just political choices. Incomplete projects, e.g., schools started under one government, left unfinished under another, have been a recurring issue across PNM and People's National Movement opposition cycles. The PNM, during its long periods in government, introduced expansion of secondary education, national school feeding programs, infrastructure upgrades in many communities, including in Afro-Trimbagonian areas. These are documented in party manifestos and policy statements. To say Afro-Trimbagonians are supported the idea that schools were cowsheds is to erase the many Afro-Trimbagonian parents, teachers, and community leaders who fought for better schools. Turn a political failure into an ethnic moral failing. 4. The PNM's record includes real investments in marginalized communities. The claim that the PNM capitalizes on ignorance and does not invest is contradicted by education and social programs. The PNM's 2010 manifesto and other policies emphasized expanding access to education, investing in youth development, supporting community-based initiatives in urban areas, targeted community programs. In recent years, PNM-aligned and government programs have supported literacy interventions in schools in Point Fortin and similar areas, e.g., ARROW literacy intervention, community safety and youth engagement initiatives modeled on international best practices like Cure Violence. This does not mean every project was perfect, but it does mean the PNM has a record of investment, not just exploitation. Blaming the party for dumbing down voting while ignoring its education and youth policies is a one-sided, politically motivated narrative, not a factual analysis. 5. Voting is not dumbed down, it is designed to be inclusive. The claim that voting is intentionally dumbed down to the dumbest person is not supported by democratic theory or practice. Voting systems are designed to be simple, accessible, inclusive, so that people with different education levels, languages, and backgrounds can participate. A slur on ordinary citizens. Framing voters as dumb and their choices as ignorant denigrates the dignity of working-class Afro-Trimbagonians and others. Ignores that many voters make informed choices based on local issues, community needs, and personal experiences. A better argument is, voters deserve more information, better civic education, and more accountability from all parties. But they are not dumb, they are rational actors responding to the conditions they face. 6. A better, more constructive argument. Instead of the dangerous logic that blames an entire ethnic group, a stronger position is, name the problem accurately. High youth violence and crime are concentrated in specific, marginalized urban communities, often with large Afro-Trimbagonian populations, due to poverty, lack of opportunity, and weak intervention, not because of race. Demand targeted, evidence-based solutions. Support programs like Cure Violence Project Reason, which have been proven to reduce violence when properly implemented. Call on all parties, including the PNM, to invest in schools, finish incomplete projects, expand youth programs, provide community safety and economic opportunities, reject ethnic generalizations. Afro-Trimbagonians are not majority degenerate. They are a diverse community with significant contributions to nation building, education, business, and culture. Summary. The claim that the majority of Afro-Trimbagonians gravitate to degenerative behavior is a racist generalization, not a fact. Official data shows that while a small segment of young males in certain urban areas is involved in violent crime, this does not represent the majority of the Afro-Trimbagonian population, and research explicitly notes that youth overall are not heavily involved in delinquency. The real issue is structural abandonment and lack of targeted intervention, not ethnic moral failure. Evidence from Cure Violence Project Reason shows that when programs are implemented in distressed communities, violence declines, proving that behavior changes with investment and support. The PNM has a record of education and youth policies, school infrastructure development, and community investment, so the narrative that it simply exploits ignorance is a one-sided political attack, not an accurate description of its record. Rather than blaming an entire community, the argument should demand stronger, evidence-based interventions, better schools, and genuine opportunities for all disadvantaged youth, regardless of ethnicity.